our first talking point where we'll be looking at governance. Yeah, when you look at that, I mean, there are factors responsible. Men, women, adult, young, but it appears women and youth, to an extent, can really do the job. That's what, I mean, it is believed in most developed climes, including Nigeria, which is why you see that not too young to run bill signed by President Muhammadu Buhari. I know something funny happened when he was signing it. He said, look, yes, I have signed this bill, but allow me to run. Allow me first, and then subsequent tenure, you can actually come and run. Yeah, it's a good thing that we have a bill to support youth. We have talked so much about the fact that women need to be represented, but if you look at it across the country, and particularly the 10th National Assembly, you have 3 plus 14. I mean, out of the about 470 of them, you have only 17 women. I mean, is that good? Well, we are going to be looking at this through the eyes of an ambassador. She's a federal commissioner with Federal Character Commission, representing Enugu, Ambassador GINIKA. To very good morning.
Good morning to you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, ahead of the inauguration, we have been seeing war, intelligent war, so to speak, of this group should be represented, that group should be represented. Women are also coming, youth are also, you know, saying that they can do the job. I mean, that we have had presidents of this country that were, I mean, in their prime when they led. Yakubu Gowon is there, and a host of others. So let's get your opening remark on this call.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. The women, especially, you know, like you said, dropped drastically. And in the area of doing the job, you can attest to the fact that the women can actually do the job. They're married to the youth. You know, the youth also can do the job, especially now that, you know, they had a lot of reason why they came out in their large numbers to kick against whatever they feel they're not, you know, satisfied with. But like I used to say, it's always easy to criticize. But when you get in the circle of politics, you begin to see the different ballgame. So enormous responsibility has been put in on them, because right now, in the 10th Assembly, we're going to have more youths on board. So let's see how it's going to pan out. But I still believe they will do their best. Of course, you know, talking about women, talking about youth, we have a national woman leader of our party, APC. When she was to come on board as a youth, they were like, she's too young. But you can see she's been able to demonstrate capacity. That is Dr. Betta Edu. She's a youth and she's a woman. So she covers both sides. So it goes a long way to us that women are actually going to do a lot, you know, and especially as a youth, they're vibrant. They have learned a lot of lessons. You know, they know the nitty-gritties of politics now, and they have seen the reason why government may have failed to their own eyes, and they want to make a difference. So for me, I think it's a great moment, and the president-elect is a man that knows how to pick the think tanks, especially in the youth and women. He's passionate about women. He's passionate about women inclusion. Let me put it that way before people say he's passionate about women. He's passionate about women inclusion. Like I said in one of the interviews I held some times ago, that he was the first person that, you know, selected or, you know, got a woman as a deputy governor, and that also gave women leverage, you know, to, you know, move on. And I'm most bold to say that Nigeria, both youth and women, and even the men, should give him a chance. All this fight here and there, litigations flying from left, right, and center is not necessary at this point. God has given us a man of repute, a man that is ready to do it, a man that will recognize the women and the men. And of course, you see that, you know, this 35% affirmative action that we've been preparing for a very long time now, that has become something of concern. You know, he's a man that I'm sure, very certain, that is going to implement the 35% affirmative action, just like you have in Kenya, in Cameroon, and Rwanda, where we in 2021 they actually passed it into law. That is just to give women a sense of belonging. The men are the head.
Yeah, but must it be passed into law? The women, can they also come out like their male counterpart and struggle for this
Did you see
position?
the number of women that came at this time? So when you say struggle,
yeah,
the electoral process now, whatever it is now, is still, it has a lot to do with violence. Women, we are not violent.
Yeah, but
we want it soft and cool.
Yeah.
When you do that, it gives us opportunity to say, okay, this is. I advocate for women, but I advocate for competency. It must be by merit. We have very competent women. Bring them on board. Okay, let me give you an example. You look at the country called Rwanda. They were one of the countries that among Kenya, Cameroon, that passed the bill into law. And then they have 35% affirmative action. They do not only have 35%. As I speak to you now, they are in proportion of women inclusion, what they have in Rwanda. They have 61.25% at this time. And Rwanda today, when we are supposed to be the giant of Africa, is one of the leading African countries in Nigeria, in Africa. You understand? So that is to tell you that women has got so much in them to give back to the society, but they are not very good at this violent thing, carry gun.
It's not about touting, it's not about toggery, but it's about expression of interest, it's about picking the form, it's about winning the primaries.
No. If you take it there, do you see the number of women that pick the expression of interest? Because I know, yes, what you are trying to also say is that they've been given opportunity by reducing, their...
And then when it comes to the main business, you see women voting for men. That's the thing. Women should vote for women if they really are ready, to be, at the center of administration.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. But I think the bone of contention here is how we can actually get to encourage women, just give them that little sense of belonging, and stop this discriminatory thing, which is, of course, our constitution also kicks against discrimination in section 42, and is a ground on where every other law derives its validity. You get it. Yet we trample upon it, the fundamental human right. You see a woman come out, and then what you hear is she's married here, she's married there. Why would she not go to her husband's place? Then you get to your husband's place and say, why don't you go to your father's land? So it's something that we should. So if the men are already built in that system of why should I be under a woman? You get my point. But they're forgetting the fact that we need to move forward as a country, and it takes some women to come on board to, put in what they have in them. They have God has deposited a lot of potential as a women, and because we don't have too many trouble than take care of our children and all of that, we're multitasking, we're used to it. Unlike the men who are saddled with a family, house, wife, concubines, girlfriend, and all sorts
no.
So when you look at that, we have time, and that is why you see Rwanda doing very well, because in the kind of law that is coming out now comes from the heart of women, mothers. We are mothers who want to give in the best for the country. We are very patriotic. So they continue to look at us and discriminate us generally. We aren't going to get anywhere as a country. But I'm not bothered, because the man that is being elected, even the vice president elect, is a man that can give you time to sit down. In fact, in this whole thing, my group, Igbo Kwenu Fasiwaju Shetima and Omalegbo Progressive Initiative, remains the only group, Igbo living group, led by a woman that's comprising of both men, women, and youth.
So what is the place of the Federal Character Commission in ensuring that the next administration considers women and youth?
Why is it that every time I'm here, you'll be talking about federal character? Is it because I'm a federal character?
No, I mean, you have you have a role to play in this.
Well, the role of Federal Character Commission, of course, we are saddled with the responsibility to balance imbalance. That balance imbalance is my own terminology. That is how I put it, because it's the easiest way to say it how it is. Inclusion, not just women, youth, but also persons with disability. They are expected to be given 5% And I don't think that is actually
5% of appointed positions.
Yes, and not just appointed positions, even social amenities. Why not? They deserve it too. They should be given that, So in all, we are saddled with that responsibility. But if you now ask me if that has been achieved, I won't answer you today. Maybe
okay.
except to push me to, then I'll respond. But however,
the program is still progressing, so maybe we'll get to that point.
Character Commission, we work with the mandate and actually obey the rules that are stipulated in the mandate that guides us. Then Nigeria will not have this kind of issues we have right now, because it takes our commission to say these people are being left out. This is lopsided. This is marginalized persons. Let us try to balance it. That way we will have less issues. Now we are talking of appointive positions, and then you can see the Southeast region shouting that, okay, they have been left out. That is why they all came out to say, we don't want this government again, And you need to, to bring a placate the issues now, like bringing it down, like downsing the attention by making sure that that zone is quite recognized. However, people will be looking at, did they deliver? We have gone beyond the time of delivery. You cannot blame people when they support their own. After all, there are people like us who came out and risked our life to say it has to be Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So if you judge it from that angle, you are not being sincere, you are not being truthful. You must look at that and throw it away that, yes, you supported your person, but right now I am president-elect. Like, I love the statement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. At the time he was, he received the certificate of return. He said, I may not be the one some of you didn't vote for me. I may not be the one you want to see here, but I am here now. Let us work together. And not just that. For women, you can see a woman that is the wife of this president-elect, Senator Oluremi Bola Ahmed Tinubu. She's a woman that sometimes people misunderstand her. They look at her face and they say, she's hard. No, she's very humble. She's very giving.
Is that what you think?
Oh, not what I think, what I know
of
Senator Oluremi Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What I know. Now, she is thorough. And I love women that are thorough. If you are not thorough, then you can't get anything going right. She's the one that says her heart the way it is, so she's misunderstood, because she can't keep you in her heart. If you offend Senator Oluremi, she will come there anywhere you and say, Iwo lo that. She says it the way it is. She's an open-hearted person instead of keeping it to her heart. So that's the kind of first lady.
Yeah, but do you believe that the next administration that will kick off May 29 will consider women and youth?
Already the youth are considered. I used to talking about the youth. The youth are considered. It's only women that
in appointive, no appointment has been made. In appointive position. Okay. We are going to have about 42 ministers. How many are we going to have as women? We're going to have DGs,
the youth to be
EX, and all of that.
The youth to be considered, the women will be considered. Especially now, I was talking about, like we have the 10th Assembly coming. We discussed about the 10th Assembly. And I mentioned that now the South is saying, we need this. We also have women. So somebody like Right Honorable Miriam Onoha, if she's considered, and they give us speaker in the Southeast, she's qualified, she's capable, she's competent, she has been there, she's experienced. And then if she's moving in from now, she made it even against the tsunami.
Yeah, but is she available? Is one thing to be committed, but are you available to do the job?
We are the ones calling her out, and she's available. Who wouldn't be available? So now, if they take that to Southeast, it means they've been able to take care of zone. We have it, maybe speaker, not less than said deputy speaker, but I go for the best speaker. Then we've also been able to take up gender. She's a woman. And because we have been reduced, we have 3. We used to have 8 women in the Senate. Now we have 3. We have Rivers State, we have Lagos State, and we have a FCT, LP, APC, and PDP, which is I love
well spread.
Yes. Now in the rep, I think we have about 17. So it's reduced. So the only way
14,
you can
14.
give 14. The only way you can give women that voice and that recognition is by giving us a presiding officer. Even if it's a speaker or deputy speaker. And in the Southeast and South together, we only have one woman that made it back. And that's Right Honorable Miriam, honor her. So for me, I think we should start from there.
When a former governor of Abia State, Uzo Kalu, is already saying that it's turn. You know, this taunting works.
That is
when you claim that it's your turn, it eventually be,
yes. Emiloko works very well, just like he worked for Baba. But you can see that Baba started this, this race earlier, and he had given people opportunity. One of the reasons why I support Bola Ahmed Tinubu is because I've seen what he has done before. I'm not carried away by political, by religious sentiment or ethnic bias.
No, but you kept on mentioning, he's called Bat, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why do you talk about him with such passion?
Well, most people would think, like I heard some people saying, he had paid me, he gave me 300 million. I said, well, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is alive. I didn't get a dime, not a dime, and I'm saying it, a dime. And I didn't go paying conservancy. Even when he saw us in Imo, he sent Tunde Rahman to call us to say, I've been seeing these people all over the country, but they have not come to meet me. Call them to come. We didn't go because we don't want to be paid. We don't want to be given anything. We want them to take us seriously, that we are one Igbo group, only Igbo group that came out, Omale Boku Igbo Kwen, to say it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is because I have seen what this man had done before. I've not benefited from him. I'm not one of its beneficiaries. But when I tell people, when a country benefits, you also have benefited. When the country is running well, you also have benefited. My people that he had given opportunity in Lagos, like Honorable Judy Dimogo, Right Honorable, 2 times Assembly member in Lagos State. The man too also fought for him to say that he, even though it was hard, but at least he did his best. He gave Edna, a lady from Imo State, chairman. They sustained it through Sonwoku. And then Maureen from Enugu State. They are my people. They have been recognized in the Yoruba land. And I sometimes want to tell my people that why are we so selfish? We should begin to mix up unity, discuss and all of that. So Bola also is a man that I saw his PAs, his essays, his protocols that behind him, like Sonwo-Olu, like Walls, Fashola and all of that. I saw pictures where they stood behind him. And today, why he sat and watched them grow, they became ministers, they became governors. That is the kind of leader that I want to follow. Not the leader that you are just there at the end of the day. You say you save money for us, yet we do not have a pot. It doesn't make sense to me. So I won't just support you just because I am from a region or from a zone. I will support you for your competency, for your past antecedents, and for your good. And then when people bring in bad news about somebody, I say, okay, what about the good side? If you say, like you hear stories of drug and all of that, hey, does it stop the fact that the man was able to say, if it takes you to take whatever you want to take in your head and get Nigeria going right, what is most important at this point is that Nigeria should move forward and take us to that destination of choice. So most time people always, in fact, my group, like last week, there was so much problem on the group, like people trying to find out if I've been giving money and I refuse to bring it. I didn't even raise money anywhere. I did 6 geopolitical zones. I went to Kano, I went to Yobe, I went to Calabar, I went to Lagos, I went to Enugu State and Nasarawa. I didn't collect anything from anybody.
So in all of this, where do you think women and youth can really fit in terms of doing the job?
Like I've said,
because what we are expecting now is the job, hit the ground running.
What I want to say is, let everyone give Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima a chance.
They have been given a chance already. They have been given a chance.
All this litigation, distractions and
litigation, you can't really stop it. It has always been part of outcome of election.
And work and speak against INEC that has done the best electoral process and circle that we have ever witnessed in our lifetime in this country is this time around. And we give it to the chairman of INEC. He did a perfect job, and I will say it anyway and approve it anyway that this is the best we have ever had, where an Akada man can finally get in, where tsunami can sweep off governors from not making Senate, and you say it's not credible. It is credible. Now for the women, I know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president-elect, and his wife is a passionate woman. In fact, the wife saw my girl and a single amputee somewhere, and she called her, give me your number. Lo and behold, the next day she called the girl. That is a humanitarian ambassador. That's what we need in Nigeria. As I speak to you today, they have the 13 million, 17 million, 31 million. She picked the best for that girl. Today, the girl from Cedar Crest is already getting her second leg. That is the kind of first lady we want. Do you understand? So Nigeria is about to witness the best moment of their life. For the women, let us take ourselves along. Let us carry ourselves along. Let us stop looking at ourselves as a competition, but rather see ourselves as strength together. We are weak ourselves and we need. And also, I want to advise the women, even when you are going for anything, please recognize that God has put the men as head. It is not, except you want to blame God. If not, they are the head. So if you
it is good that it's coming from you.
Yes,
men are they are actually the head.
Lead the men. Like I'm leading the men in my group. When I tell you men, I'm telling you men of capacity. Right Honorable Jude, who is a 2-time House of Assembly member, is my national deputy coordinator. I'm the president worldwide. And yet, what do? They speak to me and say, sir, take them, let them feel that, give them back their ego, give them their respect. Don't try to challenge them. Let them understand that you respect them. They are the head of the family, and God has put it so. So you get more from them when you persuade. Don't make it like, be objective in whatever approach, in your approach. You know, don't make them feel like once they start sensing that you want
but they are not, but women are not good in lobbying, and that's where the problem is.
We are learning
whatever you need, whatever position you need to lobby.
We are learning to lobby. Do you understand? But you know, sometimes women are also taken advantage of. When you start going from one room to the other to lobby, they start wanting to take advantage of your womanhood. And you know, your integrity, your fidelity, especially in politics, matters to you. Because if you start selling your body in politics, you are gone. They will never help you. You demonstrate capacity. So it's when the women are not trying to demonstrate capacity that the men take advantage to say, okay, they're trying to feel that the men now. There's no way a woman will ever want to feel like she's a man. Women should always be, they say we are the weakest, they're fine. You can actually persuade the men to do what you want. Go there, beg them, like that. It's still going to be so. But when you want to show them shoulder that you are also like me, I'm Agumwa, But when I get to the men, I say, sir, even those that I'm leading, I tell them, sir, chief, okay, sir. They feel happy about it because you have given them their little
massage their ego.
Just want massage their ego. Men just want to be given that respect. But that doesn't mean that we should just keep doing that and relax. No. You demonstrate capacity, you subtly request, and it will get to you. But if you think it's about going to block the National Assembly, they will sleep in their houses, they'll be watching you on the television, and they'll be laughing at you. And again, when we are talking about women inclusion, please let us always add competent women.
Just recently, our former president Olusegun Obasanjo, pride himself to be, a talent hunter. That when he was, in power, he hunted for, so many talents, and today they really are standing out. The likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, doctor, the like of Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, a lady. We can go on and on. And then, good luck will tell you, I did also well when I brought Aruma Ote and co on board, women that also did well. So, but as we get closer to the new administration, have we got the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala? Have we got the likes of Dr. Obi Ezekwesili and the likes of Aruma Ote, who look at lawmakers and say, you picked 40 million naira on a trip that you didn't go?
Of course.
Do we have them?
Of course we do.
Where
Just
are they?
like we had them before. It's now about who will now bring them out. It's about that personality that will find them and bring them out. And that is why I'm happy. Because you agree with me. That Bola Ahmed Tinubu has got what it takes to pick the right people, put the right people.
To look for them. It's now look for them and then bring them
out. Because however you look at it, some are already discouraged. Some feel they can't get there. So look for those women, bring them out and let them demonstrate what they've got. It can't just be, we thank God for Okonjo-Iweala, we thank God for Ezekwesili, but we have so many of them still there. You can find them and bring them out. Okay, look at what panned out at Chatham House last time. People were like, okay, when it comes to health, is Bola Ahmed Tinubu a doctor? He's not a doctor. What did he do? He pointed at the APC national woman leader, Dr. Betta Edu, and you saw how she submitted.
Attended
she gave a
responded to
submission.
The question.
She's a youth, she's a woman. What does that tell you? Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a team person. He works with the team. Okay, look at another example. When he was denied federal allocation, he got some women there also on board to think tank. Then now, when a lot of areas where I just told you about 2 women that are chairman of a local government, and they are both One is Enugu, one is Imo. Women, Edna and Maureen, they are chairman as I speak to you right now in Lagos State.
Well, you know, it's one thing to be given appointments, another thing to be allowed to do the job. Where are we in terms of this?
Well, political interference cannot be overemphasized. It's an issue that has brought us to where we are today. But if you are a person of integrity, for example, let me just give you an example. You are leading an agency that is supposed to oversight or oversee job giving of job, inclusion of women and all of that. And political interference will set in. So, you know, you can actually curtail it to a large extent where you ensure that you please the general public. At the same time, you still take care of one way or the other, you still take care of the political interference. But the way it is done, when you are in impunity, deep in impunity, you will now leverage on the political interference and you will not even perform at all. Do you understand? So, competency is paramount in any position that anybody is going to take. And I think we're going to have...
I must say thank you for your time with us. Competency is key, and we should be able to look for those that are competent so that we can have more of the Amazons we have that are doing very well across the globe. I mean, you have them in the UN, the World Trade Organization, and lots more. Thank you so much, Ambassador GINIKA, for your time with us on the program this morning, believing that the next administration will feature a considerable amount of women and youth that will assist the government in delivering the dividend of democracy. You know, when it comes to women and youth, they tell you we want good health care for women, for, of course, those youth that are unemployed, we want job for them. Will this be achieved as you round up?
The youth of what?
One job.
Youth of one job.
Youth want to be employed.
Okay, want to be employed. It will be achieved. It will very much be achieved. In fact, it's one of the, if you look at the manifesto of the president-elect, it's completely spelled out there.
40 million youth are unemployed.
Yes,
40 million.
When you bring in more industries, more foreign investments, what does that show you? We have more youth. You remember there was a time Dunlop left this country. Do you know how many youth that lost their job just because of that? All those people will come back. Our Nigeria Airways will come back during the time of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because we can't have the fact that we are the giant of Africa, yet we have Air Kenya, Air Ethiopia, but we don't have Air Nigeria. We will come back. So when all these things are coming back with Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, you can be rest assured that youth will be employed.
All right, the much we have on this discussion segment. Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Take a quick break. When we come back, the program continues.